So, two of the worst kept transfer secrets of the summer may finally be coming to fruition, with Rui Patricio going to Roma and Jose Sa coming the other way back to Wolves from Olympiacos. Today we're going to be talking about those moves, giving my thoughts on them, getting the opinion from the Olympiacos side on Jose Sa. But as always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. But Rui Patricio's move to Roma has finally been confirmed. It's been a long time coming. We've been seeing these rumours since even before the European Championships, and it was finally confirmed yesterday by the Italian club. Patricio has joined up with Jose Mourinho, who's obviously taken over at Roma, and it's reported, well, not even reported, Roma put this on their own official website, that the fee is 11.5 million euros, and plus bonuses, performance bonuses that Wolves may receive over time. So a pretty decent chunk of money for a player that was in his last year of his contract. Of course, there was no guarantee that Wolves were able to get him on an extended contract, and of course we may see one or two more major players from this Wolves team move on this summer. But it is a shame. I know we got a lot of stick last season. I was a real big fan of Patricio personally. We spoke about him a little bit on the sort of buy, sell, keep series we did right at the end of the season, and as a group we decided it was probably the right summer to sell him. But I was a fan of Rui. I think he won us a lot of points last season. I don't think the way Nuno had us set up and the defence he had in front of him didn't really help in some games. But like I said, I think he won us points on his own last season. And for us now, if you cast your mind back sort of 5, 6, 7 years as a Wolves fan, and somebody tells you, you know what, you're going to get promoted to the Premier League, and in that first season you're going to sign Portugal's #1 goalkeeper, somebody that's won the European Championships, you would have told them to jog on. But the fact that Wolves have been able to do that, it was such a huge profile signing for the club, and I think we've got our money's worth out of Patricio. And of course, you know, at 33 years of age now, I said it on a previous video, the fact that Jose Mourinho has now moved to Roma, you could argue is it is a reputable club, European football, or if they don't have that, you know, they're very capable of getting that. And working under Jose Mourinho I know he's got a bit of a reputation now in England, but for a Portuguese player, and if he's not played under him before, that is quite, you know, that's something quite big for Rui. So we do wish him all the best. Fantastic for the club, of course. I've said it before, I think his family really enjoyed it here, and of course wish them all the best as well in the future. But Wolves will be replacing him with Jose Sa from Olympiacos. We are going to be talking a little bit more about him today, but it said that it's probably, well, it is going to be less money for Jose Sa. The fee was agreed, if I get it up just here, the fee is going to be agreed for around £6.8 million. So, of course, quite a little bit less than the fee that we sold Patricio for. Now, already there are a lot of opinions on this guy about his calibre and quality, because, of course, Rui Patricio at the moment is #1 for Portugal, has been for a long while. And Jose Sa is actually probably, you'd say, #4 in the pecking order. They've got Anthony Lopez. They've got the guy's name who escapes me, who's playing in Spain right now. So, you know, Rui someone? Ignore me. Rui Costa? No, I don't know. I'm making up. Yeah, but he plays for... ignore me. But yeah, Jose Sa is #4 in the pecking order. And of course that's gonna ring alarm bells to people. But Portugal have got such a good quality of goalkeeper there. Patricio is #1 because I think Fernando Santos is someone, you know, he's someone that Santos trusts. A little bit like England, you know, Southgate has got players he prefers, and I think that's the case here. But we've seen people that, you know, friends of the channel, Alex Gonçalves, for argument's sake, said, you know, there's not a huge difference in that quality. And of course, Jose Sa is much better at certain aspects of a goalkeeper than Rui Patricio is, and I'm sure it's vice versa as well. But it will be intriguing and interesting to see, because Sarr has got a lot of experience in European competition, possibly more most recently than someone like Rui Patricio. But in terms of his league that he's currently in the Greek league, he's probably not playing that caliber of opponent every week that Wolves will be facing off against. But let's learn a little bit more about him. I spoke to the guys over at Gate 7 podcast. They're an English-speaking Olympiacos podcast to find more about Jose Sarr. So then I am now here with Costa from the Gate 7 podcast. Costa, thanks for jumping on, man. How are you?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, doing very well, thank you. Pleasure to be here to talk about an imminent transfer, I suppose.
Yeah. Before we kick off, though, do you want to let our listeners and viewers know who you guys are and what your podcast is?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Costa. As you can tell from the way I speak, I grew up in the UK. Olympiacos fan all my life, of course. I live in Belgium now. So I'm part of the Gate 7 International podcast. We've been running the show for nearly a year, I would say. We started it during COVID. It's for Olympiacos fans, essentially, 2 in the States. Ari is in Baltimore. Actually, Peter is in Canada. Peter's not even Greek, by the way. He's an American that was brought into this Olympiacos craziness by his mate over there. The other guy is Labro. He's in Switzerland, and I myself, I'm in Belgium. The initiative is basically a way of bringing information and news to Olympiacos fans in the Greek diaspora, but also connecting fans from the diaspora closer to the fans in Greece and trying to make the club more of a global brand, let's say.
Yeah, love that. I love that. Well, obviously, I'll make sure I leave the links to all your stuff in the description. But we are going to be talking more about Jose Sarr today. Of course, very, very close. Probably in the next couple of days or so, it should be officially announced by Wolves. But it's to try and gauge a bit more of your opinion. Obviously, someone that's watched him and seen him play a lot more than a lot of Wolves fans have. Because, like I've said sort of earlier in this video, there's a bit of a debate going on because obviously we're going from Patricio, who is the Portugal number 1, to Jose Sarr, who's possibly number 3 or number 4 at Portugal. So just to get your sort of opinion on him, really. So firstly, in terms of in Greece, has this been spoke about quite a lot? Is this going to be probably one of the bigger transfers in the Greek league this summer?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Olympiacos has made a reputation for selling at profit and big prices for Greek league. Frankly, it's been a story that's been going around for over a month and a half, and we're tired of it. We've known that he's going to leave this summer. He was going to leave last summer, but he broke his finger just before the second leg against you guys.
Yeah, I remember.
He missed the second leg. I'm not going to get into what would have happened if he was keeper. Anyway, we knew he was going to leave. So even when he came to the club, he's obviously, his agent is obviously Jorge Mendes. So there's a story that's repeated a lot in Greece, is that how did Jose Sarr turn up in Greece? And the story goes basically, Jose Sarr says, Mendes called me up one day and the next day I was in Athens. And it's the same story now. It's the same story now. It's just that, we've known for a long time that we were waiting for the domino. We were waiting for Patricio to finish the Euro, to complete his move to Roma, and then that the next day Sarr would be going to Wolverhampton. And in Greece, it's been reported today actually that he's flown out there. And the fee is something that's been debated the last few days, whether it's 8 million euro. He has a release clause of 15. So Olympiacos fans are a bit pissed that we're not making as much money as his release clause. But what I'm keen to hear in the end is whether there's a percentage as well. But yeah, those are the basics right now.
So yeah, I saw around a pretty reputable source in the UK, 6.8 million sterling. Pound. So yeah. What are your thoughts on that then? Do you think that's too low, about the right amount of money for him, or?
To be honest, mate, I think for both sides, it's a really good bit of business, because we picked him up for 2.5 million after a loan spell. Yeah. So we're making profit. And I think if there's a percentage that we retain as well, then I'm happy with it. Yeah. Release clauses are there, but they're not always triggered. For you guys, I know that Patricio is gone on an undisclosed fee, as it was reported, but figures were around kind of 12 million
Yeah,
euro.
that's correct. Yeah.
So you're selling a really good keeper at 12 million and buying another one for less. And then I suppose you're going to ask me like strengths and weaknesses, but we'll get into that, and I can tell you.
Well, yeah. The first question I was going to say really is Jose Sarr against other goalkeepers currently playing in Greece. Is he the best one in your opinion in the Greek
By
league?
far, by
Yeah,
far, yeah, by far. Him, in any team that wants to be challenging for a title, you need a good goalkeeper, you need a good striker, and he is one of those keepers that. Let me say something right from the get go, because I know that a lot of English fans are looking at us, and not all English fans know Olympiacos very well. I think over the last couple of years, our reputation has grown a lot because we played a lot of English teams the last few years, including you. So in Greece and with Olympiacos, there's always an expectation to win.
yeah.
Every game, let alone in Greece, where if you draw, the next day they're throwing tomatoes at you. It's like, no, it's really like, oh, the manager's gone. And I'm not exaggerating. We've sacked a manager a couple of years ago, Leonardo Jardim, who ended up at Monaco. You might remember him.
Yeah.
He was top of the table, qualified for the next round of the Champions League after the group stages, and they sacked him because we didn't play good football. So the pressure at the club is really immense. And one of the things that the foreign players, the ones that manage to adapt, the ones that perform, something that they get from that experience at Olympiacos is dealing with pressure and having that winning mentality. So that's something that he's going to take with him to Wolves, where the pressure, I would dare say, the pressure at Wolves is not as big as it is at Olympiacos, where you're expected to win every game, including in the Champions League, by the way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, that's something that I said earlier on as well. The fact that although, in terms of caliber and quality, some people may still put Patricio ahead of Sarr, but, he's played a lot more European football than what Wolves have. I know he had a year in Europe, but, he's played it, quite a lot over the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years. So, it's an interesting step up. But, yeah, strengths and weaknesses now. What is Jose Sarr good at, and what do you think he maybe need to improve on, or aren't his best points as a goalkeeper?
So, like I said, in Greece, when we play in the league, we have about 60 to 70% possession in every game.
Yeah.
So that means that he doesn't have a lot of shots fired against him. But so then it's important that when the other opposition hits on the counter, that he's ready. So he's a keeper. He's standing there for 90 minutes, and he needs to act 2 of those 2 minutes in a game where there's 1 shot or 2 shots against him. And he's been there, like, for the large majority of games in the league. He's been there. He is, I would say, 8 out of 9 months during the season, he's very reliable. I've seen in the 3 seasons that we've had him that, be it because lack of competition, there's always 1 month or like 2 or 3 week spell each year when there's a dip. But you can say that about any player.
Yeah, every team as well, yeah.
With Sarr, I'll use Pedence's words. So Pedence was actually asked on an Instagram Q&A that he did, Patricio or Sarr, because he's played with both, right? He said, Sarr's possibly got more talent and he's more eccentric. He's obviously younger. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have like the same kind of reliability that Patricio would give you. That has to do with age as well. So Sarr, if not mistaken, I think he's 26. Mm-hmm. Patricio is 32. Sarr, in terms of his eccentricity, has got really good communication. Like, you can hear him from the stands, like, screaming at the defense.
That's good, because I think Patricio is quite quiet. I think so. That'd be quite good. Yeah, straight away.
So he's really good at communicating. Reflexes and positioning, really good. If there's one weakness I would point at, that sometimes coming for crosses from a set piece. We play a zonal defense as well. So I think Nuno played zone with you. Portuguese managers generally do that.
Yeah.
So those I would say are the strengths and weaknesses. I do actually have stats, his stats the last 3 seasons, because we signed our new keeper the other day and we were doing a comparison and we looked at Jose Star's stats the last 3 seasons. You've got 235 shots against, 189 saves, 88 of those saves were reflex saves.
Wow.
He conceded 45 goals in 3 years, and his expected conceded goal metric was 64.32, which our analyst tells me is good.
Yeah. Do you have a clean sheet stats off the?
I do not have the clean sheet stats
Well, I
with
think
me,
it's a pretty
unfortunately.
good. I mean, based on those, it's a pretty good, record as well for those in all comps. So there was one thing that I was going to ask that I've seen a little bit of the ball at his feet as well in distribution. Would you say that's one of his stronger points? Because Patricio, over the last few years, has been very, very shaky in terms of kicking the ball out and just being his comfortability on the ball. Is that something Jose Sar's any good at?
Ish. I would
Right.
say
Okay.
about the same. Yeah, I would say about the same. It's not like you're bricking it when the ball goes back to him.
Yeah.
He's comfortable and he hasn't made any gross errors, but his distribution could be better. Like we play out the back a lot, even when we're
Yeah.
playing in Europe. It's normally a short pass or he throws it out. He's quite good at throwing. Actually, he can get the ball into the halfway line for a quick counter attack, and he has assisted a couple of goals actually. So it's not super. It's not bad. It's kind of in the middle, I would say, in terms of his distribution.
And finally, do you think Jose Sarr could be a success in the Premier League? Do you think this is a good signing for Wolves?
I think it's good business, like I told you earlier, and I think he deserves the move. It's been 3 seasons with us. He leaves behind, I won't say legacy, but replacing a keeper is always hard, and finding a keeper is tough. So we've been very happy with him, and he's been a good servant to the club, and it's his time. It's time. He deserves, I think, a move to the Premier League, and he's lucky enough. He's got the connections and the agent to take him there. So we wish him all. We wish him all the best. I mean, you never know with transfers, right? But he's got. There's a lot of Portuguese-speaking players at the club. We know it's like there's a Portuguese environment there, so that'll help him. Portuguese manager, of course. So I think he'll fit in well. I think he'll fit in well there, and Wolves fans should be happy. I think it's a good bit of business.
Fantastic. Well, Costa, I really appreciate you coming on Talking Wolves. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the Gate 7 podcast in the description, and I'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thanks, mate. Pleasure.
So there we go then, guys. We expect, if it's not already announced by the time this video is out, that Jose Sarr should be announced over the next couple of days or so. Possibly not in time for the first pre-season friendly this weekend, but you would expect him to be travelling with the squad over to Spain for their pre-season tour over there, and we'll expect to see him play in a couple of those games. But guys, really, really looking forward to seeing how Jose Sarr gets on. Going to reserve judgment until I've seen him in a Wolves shirt. Like I said earlier, a lot of people have had their opinions on him. A lot of people aren't happy with this move, but willing to give him that opportunity, willing to wait and see what he can do. But until next time, guys, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all very, very soon.